Hello everyone, this is our start of the day. It says in a square matrix of dimension 5 into 5, alphabets are used to fill its rows and columns. Each alphabet represents the initial of the names of the 25 individuals. The alphabets used are A, I, J, M, N, O, R, and T, right? And rows are numbered from top to bottom and columns are numbered from left to right. It simply means that rows are numbered from top to bottom. That means this is the first row, this is the second row, this is the third row, fourth row, and fifth row. And columns are numbered from left to right, means this is the first column, second column, third column, fourth column, and fifth column. Every initial in the above matrix is given a rank according to the dictionary order. So individuals with same initials are given same rank. So if two people have the same initials, say A, so both of them have the same rank 1. Further, A is given rank 1, I is given rank 2, J is given rank 3, and so on. Rank 1 is the highest, rank 9 is the lowest. And we say that first individual, right, the individual number 1 can send a friend request to second individual on a social mobile application only if these three conditions are satisfied. The first condition is that the first individual actually who is sending the friend request, right, first individual can send the request, second one is the one who is getting the request. So individual first and individual second, the one who is sending the request and the one who is getting the request, they should be in the same row and same column. First individual's initial is ranked higher than the second individual's initial, and if there are any other individual between the first and the second one in the row and column, then such individual must be at least 3 ranks below than the first individual who is actually sending the friend request. So in this matrix, consider the individual's initial in the first row and first column. So just like the person M here, now this person can receive friend request from A because A is ranked higher than him, N is ranked below M, O is ranked below M. Although J is above the in rank, J is above M, but there are 3 individuals between J and M, and A is not 3 ranks below than J. So J cannot send the request to M. So M can only receive request from A. Similarly, column wise, M cannot receive the request from M. He can receive the request from A, right? And this N is ranked below M, so he cannot send the request. But although this I, as per the arrangement, A is ranked 1, I is ranked 2, J is ranked 3, M is ranked 4. So although the rank of I is greater than the rank of M, but still this I cannot send the request to M because there are some people between I and M, just like this A. This A is not 3 ranks below I, right? This A is not 3 ranks below I. As per the third point, if there is any other individual between the first and second, then such individual or individuals must be at least 3 ranks below than the first individual. So that means this I cannot send the request to M. So only request that this person M will get is from either this A or from this A, right? So he can get 2 requests. So based on this, these conditions, we have to find the number of requests received by every individual. Now, if you look at the questions, it says how many individuals in the matrix can receive exactly 2 requests. In which row and column are the maximum individuals who can receive the friend request? How many individuals are common out of the individual who can send the request to the individuals having M as the initial in the first column, right? So basically in 2 questions, since the question is asking for the friend request received, so we will also deal this question in the same way. We will not see whether a person can send a request to us some other person, but we are doing it like in how many ways a person can receive the friend request instead of sending that, right? So let us try to find out who is getting how much friend request from the other people. So here is the table with us. Now, as discussed, this M can receive only 2 requests, one from this A, right, and one from this A. Let me first of all write down the names A, I, J, M, N, O, R, T, and U. So A is ranked 1, I2, J3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, right? So M can receive the request from A. So this A can also send the request to M because the person between these two is only this M, and M is ranked 4, A is ranked 1, so there is a gap of 3 ranks between A and M. So that means the third condition is satisfied. So A can send the request to this M. N is ranked below M, and I is although ranked higher than M, but there is a person A in between, due to which this I cannot send the request to M. So that means there are only two ways in which the first person with initial M can receive the request. Now, no one can send request to A because the first condition is that if a person is sending the friend request to the second individual, then the first individual's rank should be higher than the second individual as per the condition 2. First individual's initial is ranked higher than the second individual's initial. Since A is already ranked highest, no one is higher than A, so that means A cannot cannot receive the request from anyone else. So whenever you are getting A in any row or column, just put 0 there because A is the one who cannot send or receive, who cannot receive the request, right? He can only send the request, but he cannot receive the request because no one is above A in the ranking order. Now let's see about this N. This N can receive request from A, right? He can also receive the request from this A because there are two persons M and N between N and A, and since both of these N and M, they are at least 4 points, at least 3 ranks below A. That means this A can also send the request to this N. So 2 are there. Further, J is ranked higher than N, so J can send the request to N, but there is one person O between, and if you look at the ranks, J is ranked 3rd, O is ranked 6th. So there is a gap of 3 ranks, so that means this J can also send the request to N. So this N can receive request in 3 ways. Further, now the next person is O, and this man O, he is ranked 6th. That means this N can send request to O. N is ranked higher. This A can send request to O. J can also send the request to O. J is ranked higher, and this A can also send the request to O. So this J, A, N, and this A, all these 4 people can send request to O. So O will get 4 requests. Next is J. Now there are only 2 people who are ranked above J. One is A and the second one is I, right? So J cannot send request to J. And TU, they are the lower in rank. Only this A is the person who can send request to J. The 2 people in between are N and O, and both of them are ranked at least 3 points below A. So A can send the request to J. So J can receive the request from only one person. So this was the first row. Now let's check the second row. In the second row also, M has just 3 people above him in the arrangement. One is A, second is I, and third is J. So these 2 A's, they can send the request. N cannot send the request to M. I can send the request, but the problem is that there is one person A between them, and the rank of A is not 3 below I. So that means this I cannot send the request to M. So M can get the request only from these 2 A's. So there are only 2 requests which this M can receive. Now let's check this N. Now this N can receive the request from A, second one from here, third one from here, one, two, and fourth this M, right? M is also ranked higher than N. So this N can receive request from A, this M and this A. This A can also send the request to N because M is ranked 4, A is ranked 1. So there is a gap of 3 people, 3 ranks. This N will get 4 requests. Next is J. Now this J can only receive the request from this A because only I and A are ranked higher than J. So only I and A can send the request to J. So J will get only 1 request. Next we have this N. Now this N can receive requests from A, second A, third A, and fourth M. So all these 4 people just around N can send the request, plus this 5th person A, he can also send the request to N. So he can get the request from 5 people. Next person is M. Now this M can receive the request from this A, second A, and this third A, because only AIJ can send the request to M. So, and we have only these 3 people, I around M, who can send the request. So M will get the request in 3 ways. Next we have N. Now this N can get the request from A, this one, and J. J is also ranked higher than N. T and U, they are ranked lower than N. So this N can get the request from only 2 people. Now this N, he can get the request from A. This is 0 here. This N can get a request from this A, and I, right? So these are the 3 people who can send the request to N. Now this R cannot get the request from T, but these 2 A's, this one and this one, these 2 A's can send the request to R. So he will get the request in 2 ways. Now T is ranked lower than R, so this R can send the request, this N can send the request, and A can send the request. So that means T will get the request in 3 ways. This I can get only the person ranked higher than I is A, so I will get the request only from A. That means only this A can send the request to this I. So it will get request only in 1 way. Next, this R, this A can send the request to this R. These 2 I's can send the request to R. That means he can get the request in 3 ways. Again, I can get request only from A, so only 1 way. This I, only this A can send the request. Next we have T. So T can get the request from R. T can get the request from A, right? Because R is more than 3 ranks below A. So R, A, these are 2 people who can send the request to T. Also this I can send the request to T. So T will get the request from 3 people. Now this U. U is the person who can get request from any of the remaining 8 people. So T can send the request to U. N can also send the request to U. Since N is ranked 5 and T is ranked 8, so T is 3 ranks below N. That means this N can also send the request to T. Right? This J cannot send request to, sorry, N can also send request to U. This J cannot send the request to U. The reason being there is one person N between J and U, and N is not 3 ranks below J. Right? So this J and this J cannot send the request to U. So only N and T can send the request from this column. Also from this row, this T and this I can send the request. Right? Since I and T, they are also having a difference of more than 3 as in their ranks. So that means this U will get the request from 4 people. So this was the complete arrangement about how many people can receive requests from, how many requests a person can receive from the many people, right? So I think this is clear to all of you. Now let us move on to the questions. The first one says how many individuals in the matrix can receive exactly two friend requests. So exactly two friend requests can be received by this M, this M, this R, and this N, right? So this M, this row only this N is there, this R is there. So there are four people who can receive request from four people, right? There are sorry there are four people who can receive request from only two people, right? That who can get only two friend requests. There are four people in total. Second says in which row column there are the maximum individuals who can receive friend requests from at least three individuals. At least three means either from 3, 4, 5 and so on. Maximum individuals, right? So in the first row, we can see that only two people are there who can receive 3 or 4 requests. So here in the row wise we check, here only in the first row there are two people, right? Here is only one person row wise. Here are only two people row wise. Here we get only two people row wise. Here we get three people row wise, right? Let's see, check the column wise also. Here only one person. In this case only two people. In this case there are three people. In this case only two people, and here also two people. So that means the maximum is either in the fifth row, means three people, or in the third column, which is again three persons, right? So that means fifth column, fifth row and the third column, right? Fifth row and third column means both 2 and 3 are true. So answer is option 4. Next it says how many individuals are common out of the individuals who can send requests to the to both the individuals having initial M in the first column. So that means how many individuals are common who can send the request to these two people, M and M. We can know that this M is getting two requests, one from this A and the second from this A. This M is also getting two requests, one from this A and the second from this A in the third row. That means this person in the third row, first column, this person is the common to both of these M's who is sending the request, right? So only this person is common, so answer is only one. One person is common to both these M's. So this was all about this set. I think you people got the idea. One thing I want to tell you that this set is actually consider the replica of one of the sets of CAT 17. So thank you to all of you.